When you click Buy Now, you probably don't think too much about how that package gets to you. For decades, it was a team effort between two absolute giants, Amazon and the US Postal Service. They were the engine of e-commerce. But that era, it's over. Today, we're going to unpack this massive breakup and what it means for, well, pretty much everything.
So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? 30 years is a long time. This partnership literally shaped the way we shop online. For them to just call it quits, something big must have happened. So, let's get into it. All right, let's start with the breakup itself. To really understand why this all went down, you first have to see the insane amount of pressure that one of these partners was under. Take a look at that number, $9.5 billion with a B. That's how much money the U.S. Postal Service lost in just its last fiscal year. This isn't just a tough quarter, This is a full-blown financial crisis, and it's right at the heart of why this whole thing fell apart.
And that crushing financial reality, well, it leads directly to this. A relationship that lasted 3 decades, the one that basically built the delivery system we all rely on, is officially done. Amazon has decided it's better off going solo.
It's actually wild to see how much this relationship has changed. I mean, at first, it was a match made in heaven. The post office could get a package to literally any address in the US, and Amazon was pumping billions of dollars into their system. But things changed. The Postal Service's money problems got worse, and at the same time, Amazon started building its own massive delivery fleet. The priorities just didn't line up anymore.
But look, this isn't just a story about profit margins and logistics charts. This breakup has a very real, very human cost. And that's what we need to talk about next.
100,000. Let that sink in for a second. That's the estimated number of jobs that analysts think are at risk because of this split. We're talking about postal workers, truck drivers, contractors, real people whose livelihoods depended on that steady stream of Amazon boxes. And that's not just some hypothetical number, Industry experts are making it pretty clear. When your biggest client suddenly disappears, that massive drop in demand, it's almost guaranteed to lead to layoffs and staffing changes all over the country.
For the Postal Service, this is a body blow. For years, as we've all sent fewer letters, package delivery was their lifeline. It was the one thing keeping them going, and Amazon was a huge piece of that. Without that income, they're forced into survival mode, which means deep cuts, maybe changing up delivery routes, a total overhaul of how they operate.
Okay, so we've talked about the companies, we've talked about the workers, but let's bring it home. What does this actually mean for you? How is this going to change things the next time you're waiting for that package?
Well, get ready, because your delivery experience is probably going to depend a lot on your zip code now. If you're in a city, you're just going to see even more of those blue Amazon vans and their contract drivers. But if you live out in a more rural part of the country, well, things could get a little less predictable. We're talking possible delays or even changes to what services are available.
And here it is. This is the absolute key. The U.S. Postal Service has to deliver to every single address, no matter how remote or unprofitable it is. They were the ones filling in all the gaps. They handled that difficult, expensive last mile. So with them out of the picture for a lot of these Amazon deliveries, you have to wonder, who's going to do it now?
So yeah, this whole situation has really backed the Postal Service into a corner. Now it's basically fighting for its own survival. So what comes next for this iconic American institution?
You have to understand, the USPS is playing a completely different game than a company like Amazon. They have this public service mandate. It's their job to serve everybody everywhere. But they're trying to compete in this lightning-fast e-commerce world that's all about profit and efficiency. It's a fundamental clash between their mission and modern business.
So what's their game plan? How do they recover? Well, they're making a pretty bold move. They're basically opening up their entire delivery network for hire. The thinking is, hey, maybe other big retailers will want to take advantage of the one network that can truly go anywhere.
Okay, let's zoom out for a minute, because this story is so much bigger than just Amazon and the USPS. What we're seeing is a tectonic shift in how everything gets delivered in this country.
The big trend here is something called vertical integration. It sounds complicated, but it's simple. Companies like Amazon don't just want to sell you stuff anymore. They want to own the entire process, from their warehouse to the truck to your front door. Why? Total control. Control over speed, cost, and the customer experience. This breakup is the biggest sign yet that this is the future.
You can really see the whole story of American delivery laid out right here. We've moved from an age where these public-private partnerships were the norm to right now, this moment, which is all about private companies taking control. The future, It looks like a battleground between public services and these massive private logistics empires.
And that leaves us with the million-dollar question. As these private delivery empires get bigger, faster, and more efficient, what happens to a public service like the post office? Can it actually adapt and compete in this new world, or is it going to become a relic? Honestly, the very future of how we get, well, everything, really, hangs in the balance.